the focus shot, like the charge shot, I forgot the exact name of it, able to do so much damage as well. And the mobility and the verticality Grey Talon could abuse as well is going to be super tough to deal with.
Correct me if I'm wrong, production. I am looking at the draft site, and I'm seeing that it is Pass who has banned Kelvin and has Lash, Wraith, McGinnis, Ivy, Grey Talon, and Warden. And TF2 Boomers banned Viscous with Mirage, Infernus, Paradox, Mo, Krill, Abrams, like Grey Talon. And so it makes sense that Pass probably essentially picked it to take it away, and it is just such an oppressive laner. And we're going to see it come out, I believe it's paired with the McGinnis right now, which is such a strong lane overall, because McGinnis is a very safe lane. What do you think, like, if you are on the other side, you're the, well, I think Infernus and Paradox are the ones that have to lane into that. You do, because you can't be aggressive to go forward because McGinnis is so safe. But you can't play back because Grey Talon just exerts so much pressure.
Yeah, that's brutal. You know what? I think what's going to happen in the previous matchup we saw with Skyline, GG, and the Unknown, we're going to get a lane swap. Don't want to deal with that matchup, so we're going to switch it up.
Yeah, I do expect to see, if not a lane swap, necessarily a bit of a flank angle. They do at least have Abrams and Bebop just one lane over in Greenwich, who can perhaps both come to the rescue. They're very good lockdowns. That's a lane that wants to just, you know, get in there and kind of brawl. Overall, you know, what we expect to see from an early game, we just have both teams kind of trading and seeing what they can find.
The Mirage and Wraith trading back and forth.
Yeah. So the question I have for you, Sue, I want you to kind of taking a look at both these teams. Maybe
wait, hold on, there's a fight.
They're going forward. The fight, a great melee. The Wraith is low, but Mirage not able to secure the kill. The Wraith able to get away.
Time to make my exit.
Oh.
That was a close one. All right, now that that's taken care of, Sue, looking at these two teams, what's the game plan, do you think? Like, kind of walk me through. What's Pass doing, and how does TF2 counter?
So I think Pass is going for like a fairly team fight oriented composition. They're not really trying to go front to back, but they want to play for that 5v5. I think the CC from Warden, as well as the Ivy, in combination with Lash on the flank angle, and you have the McGinnis for the wall to separate teams, as and the Wraith and Grey Talon for DPS, they're great in the 5v5. If they can all their puzzle pieces together, the wombo combo will be immaculate. On the other side, TF2 Boomers should be trying to play for more of a pick style. You do have the Paradox, the ultimate to swap places is very powerful. The Bebop as well, to just hook someone in. And if you hook someone into like either a Paradox ult to just bring them even further into your team, or even just into the Abrams or into the Mo and Krill as well for the lockdown and the ultimate as well, it's going to be great for just picking off that one member of the team and then transitioning that numbers advantage into an objective or even like a team fight win.
And speaking of getting that pick, we finally have First Blood all the way over in Park in your purple lane. Believe the Mo and Krill was able to... No, Mo and Krill is not over there. Who do they have over there? Is it Mo and Krill? It is! Never mind. Mo and Krill was able to take down the Warden, so a good early game.
Oh,
but one finally traded back, and Salty is able to take down the Lash. Salty is played really, really well on this Abrams today.
Oh, he wants more.
And he might find it. There it is.
3.
2 kills for Salty. A great early game. And such a good rotate over the counter gank from Salty was immaculate. And we've seen that Salty got up to a great early lead in the last game for Pass. Pardon me, for TF2 Boomers. Was a really big part of that early lead that they took. Really, really good play there. I expect to see that transitioned into a very oppressive lane. And man, that charge shot from Talon.
That's brutal. Yeah, that is insane. You know, honestly, I think I really do like the TF Boomers composition right now, but if they are trying to play more for this pick style, I would have swapped out probably the Mirage for maybe a Haze, because you can put that sleep dagger in there as well, and Haze is great on flank, so change, but I think for now they're very happy with what they're doing. Looks like the Infernus is going in.
Infernus is able to pick up another kill for TF2 Boomers, out to a very strong early lead, already up 5 souls. only 4 minutes into this one. They're coming out early. They're coming out very, very hot.
Yeah, I mean, they are just taking no prisoners. There's no mercy for Pass. I mean, this is kind of a very different matchup from what we saw last game against Skyline GG and the Unknown. Instead of like just one fight and everything slowly going their way, it's just like multiple small instances. The pick goes this way, you know, you lose a guy here. But even so, Pass, just like Skyline GG, are losing members back and forth, and they're hemorrhaging souls.
They have to be careful here. We see the call out. Lash coming down, but not able to fight. They need to be careful. Here comes Salty again. Look at that damage. And there goes Ivy. It's just over so quickly. And another pick found here by TF2 Boomers. You called it. They're finding their angles. They're finding one member, and then they bully them. And that's it. Over so quickly there. Man,
this is the power of this pick composition. There's just so many tools where you're able to isolate or just displace that one member and then have the rest of your team just gang up on them now that they're away from their team.
Yeah, and again, that does mean that Pass is gonna have to find their time where they can group up. You talked about that 5v5 competition, and they can't do that. They can't get too far behind in the interim. It's already almost a 10k lead, and you can see those items starting to matter quite a bit. I mean, look at the Paradox. Already has, you know, what, 7 items on the board, including a tier 2. Very good early build. And look at the other side.
Oh, wait.
Not nearly as
Hold
much
on, I think
counter.
flank angle from the Lash.
Lash is there, but Abrams, very, very healthy boy, and is gonna be able to walk it out from underneath that turret. And look how far back they have to play because they don't respect it. Another pick comes out. My goodness. The hook!
There's a hook!
Here it comes! And he gets punched in towards the rest of the team. The health is going down so fast. Mouse is trying to get away, but he just gets lasered, and it's over. Another pick for TF2 Boomers. They are playing amazing in this early game. And it is going to be up to Pass to try and pull off.
Hold on, there's another kill as well. Salty on the Abrams.
And they might be getting a third here. It's a 3-on-1. Ivy so low. Does get a kill on the Deathy. First one for Pass, I believe. But goes down a 3-for-1 trade.
Oh, that is so brutal. I mean, it's like facing this pick hop is so difficult. Are they going to get one? Wait, hold on. They isolate a member. But are you locked in with him, or is he locked in with you? He's
coming forward, but now Mo and Krill is here, getting that lockdown, lots of damage, and there he goes. Mercedes is dead. Mirror Man cleaning that up. A good Paradox transfer, and it's over. A double kill for TF2 Boomers over in Park.
It looked really good for a moment. The McGinnis of Pass was able to isolate the Mirage from the side of TF Boomers, but just the item completions, like the soul difference was too big, and that's a kill for Spooky. All right, some souls back in the pocket.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not going to count out Pass yet, because I did the last time they played, because they got out to a bit of a slow start. It started towards the mid-game rather than the early game, but then they had this fantastic counterplay to stop and earn, and they were able to just take the game from there. So do not count these guys out. It is never over.
No, absolutely not. I think if Pass is able to stabilize, they very well still have a chance to win. I mean, Lash is probably one of the best 1v1 pick champs in the game. If you can find an off angle with that, especially on a flank in a big team fight, you can very easily turn the tide. And McGinnis as well, just the farm in the side lane. If you're aware of The Boss, the streamer from League, it's kind of what that hero does. If you can mimic that playstyle here in Deadlock with McGinnis, you can easily snowball a Soul's advantage back in your favor, even though the scoreboard may say different.
Yeah, we're seeing both teams now beginning to cycle into clearing the denizens, clearing out these equivalent of jungle camps, sacrificing some health for some money from the sinner sacrifice. And that's what you get. Once you're no longer focused on the lane, this is where you're really going to see compositional and stylistic differences matter quite a lot, because both these teams are going to have different ways they're going to want to transition into the mid-game. And that transition can be one of the hardest part, even when you're ahead.
Lash is on top of the garage.
Yeah, absolutely. If you misstep while farming the jungle, if Pass is able to get a numbers advantage fight on you, that Soul's advantage could quickly swing the other way if you let one too many of your members get picked off in the jungle. Looks like
Tank Man
really
in a bit of a
pickle.
Outnumbered here.
Oh, hold on,
Ivy comes down and 4 members take down Tankman, but it's not going to be unanswered. Yes, they're going to get the kill. They are going to get the Guardian, but look at the Walker over in Greenwich. Look at the Walker over in Park. Look how far those lanes have been pushed up, and I think they are going to lose the Walker in Greenwich even.
It not falling just yet. Reinforcements are coming in. They might be forced to back off a little bit. Mirrorman gets a Walker as well on the other side. Good trade. The wall to block him off.
The green Walker that I was talking about, but they are going to give up the yellow Walker in instead, and this is an overall pretty good play for Pass. I think this was a good stabilize.
Yeah.
They got a pick, they turned it into something.
Yeah, no, this is what I was talking with your members in side lane. They can get picked off, and the Souls can swing the other way. They got a pick, and then they use the numbers advantage to pick up a Walker, and suddenly the Souls aren't looking that bad.
Yeah, it was well over 10k
hold
earlier,
on,
but
this is
now
bad.
it's 8k. Interesting. Gets the trap, as both members were kind of just over there in the teleporter.
It could have been bad, but Mirage, not quite enough damage.
TF2 Boomers, looks like they've got everyone stacked over there where the Soul Urn is. They are really pushing Park right now. It's a 3-on-1. Ivy has to be careful. A little far forward and no friends around. Here comes finally some reinforcements.
Paradox is getting chipped out, though, by the Guardian. McGinnis comes in to just isolate, protect the Guardian a little bit. I think TF2 Boomers are forced to move away.
Yeah, and here comes the Hawk, and that could be something difficult if that's a big chunk of damage if it lands. And, don't know if it caught anyone, but a good teleporter out.
Oh,
never mind! Gets caught in the teleporter! So close to being a disaster piece there! My goodness.
Yeah, but while TF Boomers were forcing on their escape, the Wraith from Pass has picked up the jar. Hopefully they can swing some souls back in their favor with that.
Yeah, Pass actually has the the urn is in the hands of the McGinnis. And Salty able to pick up another pick. They just refuse to give up this lead. Anytime they find someone alone, that person's probably gonna die. But the Soul Urn has the answer. A fight brewing in topside, and it doesn't matter. Mirror Man goes down. Now, and again, that's a good play. Over across the board, Pass getting a pick and the Soul Urn, keeping themselves in this
this
game.
could be a dangerous fight. Last Stand coming out.
Last Stand does nothing as 3 members just pile onto Mercedes. And that seems to be kind of the name of this game,
the hook!
The numbers disadvantage.
No, he's gone.
Nothing doing there on the pick, but and you gotta give credit where credit's due. Passes brought the soul count almost even. Another huge hook! And he now has the teammates to follow up on it, but so does Pass. Here we go. Everyone's going into the fight. Mouse gets stunned, but they do get the kill onto Benji. First one to fall in this fight. A lot of damage coming out from Bebop's big ol' laser. Not able to find the kill, but Salty does find one in the mix there. Getting some good damage down. This fight is back and forth. These teams looking a lot more even than they were earlier.
Yeah, a Walker taken as well on the other hand. I mean, it was looking very good from what the Pass was able to bring the Souls lead back to only a 2k deficit, but after that huge fight, it's now increased by a very healthy 5k. The kill's not really happening for them, but it's more important the objectives going in favor of TF Boomers.
Yeah, TF2 Boomers have been able to find quite a few objectives off of the back of these plays. As you can see, only 1 Walker remains for the side of Pass.
Wall to separate. Abrams coming in.
Get grabbed. Gets out of the range just in time. So close, but still getting pursued. Boink, can you get out of there? No, you cannot. That's a Guardian going the other way. Pass, keeping it close.
Wait, but Salty trades.
No one's taking me down.
Yeah, but look at that stack. Look at how many members they have over in Broadway pushing up the lane. They've got a good numbers advantage. Something that TF2 Boomers have been doing all game is forcing those numbers, the disadvantages for the other team. But now it's coming back the other way.
Oh, great stone form to stall.
That's a pick.
That's a kill going over to Pass.
Have to be careful. There's no Walker over here, and Mo and Krill wasting the ultimate there. Unfortunate use of it. And everyone
For
on
the
Pass
first time this game,
recognizes-
souls are even.
Yeah,
Pass
Pass
been able to
recognized
even out
they
the
got
souls
what they
with that.
wanted. Yeah, Pass got what they wanted. They took the walker and they backed out. I think that's a really smart play, and that's something. Like I said, do not count these guys out. They're gonna find their play and they're gonna take it.
Yeah, I mean, like, finally the scoreboard has been evened out. I think the TF2 Boomers should have more map control. I think they have been able to get more Guardians this game. But still, like, with the souls now even, they could contest objectives. Like, Rejuvenator is up now. The jar has spawned again. They can fight for these objectives now.
Yeah, and now it comes down to, we're gonna get a bit of that lull state again, but again. If I keep saying that word, I'm gonna cry. Dude, TF2 Boomers is just, I look at them and I'm scared every time I see one little amber hand alone out there on the map. I have this feeling like, oh, TF2 is gonna shoot them in the face and take their lunch money. They just have such a good comp for it.
Yeah,
Dude,
I mean, like, if they just find the slightest opportunity, they will absolutely abuse it.
Yeah, looks like a play for the Urn's gonna come out, and this is, like I said, stylistic differences between our two teams here is gonna matter a lot. See if they can mount a good defense. Everyone grouped up. Only one split pusher. That is the Mirage being answered by the Wraith on the other side of the map, but that's not what we're interested in. We're interested in these 10 members grouped up over here in Park. Something's gotta happen, right?
I think a team fight's about to come in. Great charge
Ooh,
shot. Oh, that's great. Oh, what, the second?
Great damage. Boink is so low. Oh, this might finish him off. Boink is already down. Another huge hit. So much damage. You can see why Grey Talon has not been allowed so far today. Do not give over this pick. This guy is disgusting.
Oh. Ooh. Mouse on the Lash stunned up. Wraith isn't really going to trade. Oh, and Abrams is going in.
Yeah, Salty is low, but he still has so much health because even at half health, he's still healthier than you. Able to take down Wraith. And that, what looked like a pretty good fight at first for Pass. TF2 able to find their moment and get a bunch of picks off of that. A huge team fight and a huge win for the Boomers.
The Grey Talon of Pass was able to do so much early damage, landing 1, 2, 3, 4 charge shots consecutively to get great early damage chunk onto TF2 Boomers. But after that, I think a lot of their resources were already used, and TF2 Boomers with a great counter engage to turn it around.
Thought it might be a bait on mid-boss, but no, they were actually doing it. That means we're gonna have another fight here. The Ivy already down, Engineer being picked early on, and that's gonna make it this a difficult fight. They're gonna pull away from mid-boss, though. Pull this fight over into Broadway.
Yeah, Moment Krill using the Burrow to find some space, get some info, but at the end of the day, they just have to leave. They don't have the members nearby, or they haven't really found the members of Pass. They can't commit on the mid-boss in case they get teamed up on, but they really can't go in to get another pick because they have no clue where the other guys are.
Yeah, I think ultimately it ends up being a fine enough play. If you are a member of TF2 Boomers, say, hey, we got a kill, we can back out, we can spend a few resources, they have 2 flex slots right now, right? So they're going to try and flush out these builds, do what they can. You can see a lot of the healing items here on Bebop, playing a very supportive style.
Oh, bring up the laser!
Talk about support! A huge laser coming in!
Oh wait, he's stunned, he's HP, he's down!
To kill Salty! That's a huge member to go down this early in the fight! And the Rejuve is captured! This might be the perfect fight for Pass! We talked about it, TF2, they look so good until there's one moment in the game. Is this that moment? Did Pass find their time? That Rejuve is huge.
Yeah, I think it was just split team fighting. The Bebop going in early with a laser, yeah, you can get some really chip damage, maybe try to force them up, but your team is nowhere near, and so when the Abrams finally goes in for that engage, like, you're already down a member, and then your backline hasn't been able to make it in time, and especially because they have to deal with the backline threat of this Lash as well. It just, they played that fight too split off, their members got picked off one by one, and by the time their damage sources finally came in, their frontline was already gone, they couldn't contest.
Yeah, losing Salty early on that fight is just too, I think it's too much for them to deal with. I mean, look how many souls are on that Abrams. It is more than pretty much anyone else. Yeah, not more than pretty much anyone else. More than absolutely everyone else in the game. And that means they lost their, not only their most fed member, but their biggest frontliner. So much health, so much healing on that Abrams. especially when playing from ahead. Losing that made that fight untenable, and now they have to contend with the reju. Mercedes looking to make a play for this Walker, will get it. That's a flex slot unlocked, the second flex finally for pass.
Yeah, they've been doing a great job playing from behind. Now in the lead after that disastrous reju fight. Getting some control over the TF2 Boomers' base. They're taking their time to get the objectives. Also, something I want to mention right now is look on the souls of the Wraithiest. The Wraith of Pass had a disastrous early game, got picked off twice in the span of 5 minutes. Now, the second most fed member in the lobby at 25k souls.
Yeah, and that's gonna be huge. You can see that they're able, once they're able to like stay in the fight and not just get picked off, they do quite a lot of work. As we see, look at these builds coming out from the, like the highlight on the Infernus build and the Mo and Krill. And talk about hard to kill. Like, again, if you get enough lifesteal, I know, again, maybe it's not the popular style, but you have to admit, enough lifesteal on that Infernus, pretty difficult to deal with. And using the airdrop to move this urn across the map, relatively uncontested, doesn't look like... No shot. TF2 Boomers can't contest, and that's going to be a free urn for pass, only having to invest the one ult, no fight.
I mean, like, there's not really any objectives on, right? You just took the Rejuvenator, so it hasn't respawned yet. The Soul Urn is the only thing that's going to get you that huge influx of souls, so committing just a single ult to secure, like, a nice gift bag of souls is pretty worth it, all things considered. Nothing to fight over at the moment.
Yeah, and now we see the lead has gone from well in TF2 Boomer's favor to swing all the way back around. Now Pass is up more than 10k, and that's not an insurmountable lead in this game, as we have seen already once so far, just in this game one. And I'll remind you, this is a best of 3. I've been so excited so far, so many good fights, and we're gonna get to do this at least one more time. These teams are bringing it all, because this is an elimination match. Well, this,
you know, and even if a team does lose, like, even if the lead does go back to TF Boomers, or maybe Pass keeps the lead now TF Boomers has thrown it their way, in game 2, like, these teams have a chance to reorganize. It's not like you're facing a completely new team, right? Like, you know how these guys play now. You know what works against this opponent in particular, so you're able to change what heroes you draft. You're able to change how you play the mid game to hopefully readjust and not fall into those same pitfalls.
And that's what's so fun about a best of 3 over the best of 1s. A best of 1s really tests how good you are in that game, in that moment. Because everyone's got an off game. Everyone gets a little unlucky from time to time. When you get that best of 3, that mitigates that. Now, how well can you adapt? How good are you overall? Because you have to prove you can do it not just once, but you got to do it twice. And both these teams, I think they're going to group up here. What's your look? I see 4 people in Broadway there on Sapphire. How you feeling about this so far?
I think, like, a fight's about to erupt. There's 3 members here on Broadway. The Bebop and the Paradox in particular is just such a scary combo. You can yoink someone so far out of your backline and into theirs that it could just be a guaranteed pick. And for a nice numbers advantage into the next fight. There's nothing to fight over at the moment. It's probably just going to be a lot of farming until that one explosive moment where everything is going to happen all at once.
Yeah, we see one of the unique things about Deadlock, picking up those, the golden vases, getting the stats out of the breakable items across the map. Something that, as far as I can tell, has not been done in a different game. Great Talon kind of on the hunt. Everyone's now grouping up on Greenwich. They're both just kind of playing around each other. I do think you're right. We're in just this period of farming. Nothing to fight over. But if fight's breaking out,
Bebop has an angle?
They're going towards each other. There's the pick on Wraith, and that's a bad member to lose. A great Lash pull! 5 members! Everyone is hurt! And that's going to be one
but is
pick.
it enough?
Mouse is on the run, though. That's
a
second one.
Bebop still has the laser, though.
Half health.
It might not...
TF2 Boomers on the back foot. That Lash pull changed that fight. The early pick on to Wraith was just a basic as another one goes down. Man, Pass played that so well. Flowers for Mouse getting that huge ultimate.
It's a pull, but does it amount to anything? No, just some damage. And that's going to be 2 Guardians going down. Pass extends the lead even farther. Can they push into the base?
I think
maybe they get a shrine or 2. There's
one
still
of the shrines
only 2 members
here,
alive.
if not both.
That's 1 shrine.
That's
only 2 members
shrine
alive
down,
right now.
You can see that consistent DPS from the Ivy gun means both shrines are down, and that's a flex slot. They're gonna get Patron as well here. A very, very difficult position. Forward poor
The
TF2
members-
Boomers.
They're back off now, though.
Yes, this is the correct
Lone
play.
kill.
This is just the right thing to do. You take a big win, and now they're gonna back off and buy.
Yeah, I mean, the Moan Crow was coming back alive. The Bebop was too in about 10 seconds. And like, even if it's 4v5, and even if you do have a soul advantage, you haven't had the chance to spend those souls on items yet. And it's also in the enemy's base. So you take your lead and you back off. And no need to be greedy.
Yeah, and maybe not backing off fast enough as they're gonna lose their McGinnis here and their Ivy. And now look at TF2 Boomers. They know exactly what to do. Everyone rushing straight to mid boss.
They're going to the mid boss. They need the members here though, because the mid boss will have a constantly regenerating shield. So if you're not able to DPS it fast enough, it will just basically never die. But with all 5 members here now, that's going down real fast.
Yeah. And the Rejuvenator is coming down, but
Lash
that's not
going
going
in.
to be entirely unanswered. Here comes the Lash. A good pool.
3 man's done.
A good fight coming out. Mouse is so low, though. Can't get out of there. They capture the Rejuvenator. Pick up 2 kills. Pick up just all they could want. And the souls are back within 10,000 again.
Wait, are they able to? No, okay. So yeah, they got like a nice tempo play. TF2 Boomers was able to find like the perfect timing to take advantage of the Rejuvenator while Pass was resetting to buy the items. I think there was a greedy Lash play from Pass. Yeah, you did get a 3-man stun, but at the end of the day, like your team was a little bit too far away. It might have just been an attempt to steal.
Yeah, I think it was just, at this point, you know you're out of position, you know you're too far forward, and so try and stall, try and steal, see what you can get done, but unfortunately it means it costs them both the Lash and the Warden there. Now, I think the play here from Great Talon is going to take this, Arn all the way back through the base, perhaps zipline over. Yep, here it comes. They're going to zipline. I think they're going to make a play to try and capture the Zerd. But that's not going unnoticed, as we can see TF2 Boomers setting up right in there as well. Another ball.
The Wraith now with the arc shot is going to be a menace in team fights.
Oh, let's see. Almost full build, only 1 slot left there for the Wraith. And yeah, look at that wave clear go. So many souls able to just secure with the arc shot.
I mean, once again, like, the Wraith hasn't been doing too much on the map, but just with good farming and macro positioning, be able to pick up these waves one after another. Sitting on almost 40k souls, by far the most fed member in this lobby, even surpassing the Abrams.
Yeah, a lot of souls right there. And that part of that comes from a couple of big plays, but like you said, most of that comes from the big macro, the big farming, and that's what's so unique about this game compared to most, hero shooters or third-person shooters is you have to keep in mind your farm, just like a MOBA, and that could be such a big advantage as we're gonna inevitably see a fight break out, surely, here outside the base bosses.
Oh, the Paradox might have been caught out. No, it's fine.
Everyone's
they're
kinda
taking
grouped
down
up.
the
They don't want to
Guardians
give up
from the
that urn
base.
for free. Paradox barrier. Nobody
Alright,
willing
they're
to make
pushed
the
off.
first move here. It's like a high school dance. Everyone's just sitting outside on the sidelines, waiting for their invitation to get on the floor. And here it comes, pummeled down. McGinnis, it's over. Get out on the dance floor and put up the dukes, buddy, because you just got messed up. Tankman
Still, it's
looking for the
not
big
over
ult
just
here, a
yet, though.
huge ult. And Mao's maybe trying to find a play going in, but gets hit by the slam from the
2 people got traded
Abrams,
out.
and they're finding more and more on the side of TF2 Boomers, and a great fight from them, a 2-for-1 trade.
Yeah, and like souls once again even a 2k lead at this point is basically nothing when there's 100k souls in the lobby. So, teams neck and neck right now. It's all about who can find that initial advantageous team fight.
Man, I talked about we were hoping for a good one. What a start to this best of 3. Back and forth, and that's kind of what we expected out of Pass. I mean, I touched on it. That's how that last game went where we saw them. Now we're so late in the game, though, that without Rejuvenator on either team, a big play, a big, 3 or 4 members lost in a fight without an answer back could just be game losing, especially when the Patron is already weakened for Sapphire.
Urn has been spotted, and Lash is making his way over. When you are carrying that Urn, you have no primary weapon. This could be a chance to get a team fight going.
Here comes the barrage,
deposit, though. No,
and a lot of damage coming out, but the Paradox able to get the barrier down and save their teammate. Wraith still full health and unloading in from the flank position here. Maybe Tankman can find the big engage. Nothing doing so far. It looks like Pass is going to continue to put on the pressure, able to take out Boink, get on the front foot. And that's going to deny any sort of earned play from TF2 Boomers.
Oh, 1v1 between the Warden. Oh, no. Second member coming in. The Infernus, the big. Oh, great CC there.
A huge CC, and the burn's going to take out Mouse, but not unanswered. Spooky is able to pick up one of his own. A 1-for-1 trade, and look at those death timers. Well over a minute long. We have Mercedes going forward, trying to get a kill. Looks like he might be able to pick one up. So low, but the Infernus, so hard to kill at this stage in the game. The lifesteal off the burn is so much.
I mean, Infernus as well is a hybrid carry. You don't just have your normal bullet life, you have the spirit lifesteal as well, so he gets really tanky. Like, he heals off his burn, he heals off his ability damage, heals off his just shots hitting you. It's so difficult, but he is weak to burst damage. If he can't get those shots onto your person, he's healing off of nothing. He doesn't have something like a passive heal like Abrams.
And especially at this late in the game, even with the items to mitigate it, if you can catch him on a bad reload timing, something I think Infernus does struggle with is he's got a very long reload timer now. He does have the ability or the items to help reset the ammunition, but you can see even with a faster reload, that's still pretty long. And when he's not shooting, that means he is not applying passive. So that is the time to maybe gang up and get him. But so far, playing a pretty safe game from Benji. Only, 4 deaths. When you're talking about this game in particular, doesn't feel like that much.
Yeah, exactly. And we're back into a little bit of a lull state once again. There's no objectives up. Unless TF2 Boomers with this Bebop,
unless they can find the pick onto Wraith. That's a good member to find early. A good Lash pool, but Boink able to avoid it. Mao's all alone, getting pummeled here. Finally, the team has come to help, and they do get the kill on Mirror Man. The fight is chaotic. It is going every which way. Can they pick up another? They need one more to feel safe, to feel good about this fight. Mao's is starting to get low. They have some very low health bars on the other side, and they're able to pick up the Mirage. Decky goes down.
Oh, another great
CC there
CC
from Mao's. A great CC, but Benji doesn't let it go unanswered. This fight's even. This fight's never ending. They're continuing to scrap, but now Benji is all alone. It looks like 3v1. Is the Abrams going to be able to come save him? And Boink is here too. And all the health bars are low. Mao's has nothing left. Warden has nothing left, and that means overall this chaotic fight is going to come out all TF2
That Infernus is so ridiculous. In the face
so
of 3 members, he just won't die. He's just still not dying.
will not die.
He's still alive. He's still alive. Oh well,
and they're gonna get heated.
Not dying now.
And yeah, even though they lost 3 members, they killed every single member of Pass. Not quite a full ace. Didn't get everyone down at once as Wraith, who died so early in that fight, able to come back up before their final teammate fell. But that means mid-boss likely going over to TF2 Boomers here, because the respawn timers are just so long at this point. So long.
I would like to say the Infernus is like actually unfair at this stage of the game. Yeah, he is a late game hyper carry. I know that. But in the face of 3 members, the Lash, the Ivy, and the Warden, all 3 of them shooting at him, were still not enough to take him down in a 1v3.
That's the power of that Infernus, you know? I talked about it, essentially playing Infernus like an engage tank. Like, you know, your Leonas, your Reinhardts, and people will go, no, that's silly. He doesn't have the health for that. But he has the lifesteal. Once he's get the passive going, so difficult to deal with. And I think we saw that in the last fight. Again, also with Salty, the Abrams just another difficult member to deal with. So even though Pass played the fight very well,
another
they
great
just weren't
engage.
able to ultimately secure the kills. Here it comes. Can they find something? Good damage coming out from both sides, but look at the health bars. Only Bebop and Paradox now particularly low. But the other side, you just know this fight can turn at any moment.
Hold on.
What an insane ult as they're able to finally pick up Mouse, who has been a thorn in their side, but it's not unanswered. It's 1-for-1.
McGinnis is forced to back off here. Doesn't have time to set up the turrets just yet. The wall separates. Nope, doesn't catch anyone.
Nothing doing is they're all grouped up just outside, taking the Guardians. No one's ready. We're waiting for the one big move. Both of them losing a member, but Infernus is about to be back up, and they still have 46 seconds left on their Lash respawn timer. And here comes Infernus with the speed boost. It's about to be a numbers disadvantage for poor Pass. And here comes the fight. They know it's time. Here they go. Everyone getting displaced.
No one down yet, though. Everyone's still alive.
Everyone's still alive. A chaotic fight, though. People getting low. Bebop finally falls. Point goes down, but not for nothing. Both shrines are felled, as well as an additional Guardian. Some damage coming out onto the Patron. It's a bit back and forth. The Surge of Power able to come out the last stand. Here we go.
Warden jumping in.
We have Warden jumping out, trying to get away, getting chased down. Abrams has no shot here. There's no way he gets away, right? No, great cutoff angle. The Warden was right there. Okay, and a good last stand there from Pass.
All 5 members there joined the hunt for that Abrams. He managed to stall a lot of time, but even so, not enough to get away.
Time is running out on the Rejuvenator. And you know what I am gonna say? I think the big thing there, they did not give up their Patron's first stage. Their Patron is not weakened for Pass. They have a little bit of extra time. Should they have to fall back? Should they have to play defensive again? They only need one big fight. One big fight win with no Rejuvenator up, and they only have Rejuvenator on Paradox, mind you. One big fight win, and Pass is going to take it.
Oh my, the Wraith, while I wasn't looking, has suddenly got even more fed. 56k souls.
We're in it for the long haul, my friend. Look at that timer. We're approaching a 40-minute game. This has been so back and forth. I no longer feel comfortable being like, oh, sure, yeah, this team's winning. Neither team is winning. Both these teams just exist. And it's their house. We're just living in it because, my goodness, it feels like any of these fights could go either way. It's so back and forth. It is so tight. As we're getting, perhaps, a big group up, you know, from the team of Pass here. Where do you think they're going to push out onto the map next? They have to find an objective to play at.
I think at this stage of the game, you only need to fight around the mid-boss. Souls at this point mean less than the air you breathe. You need the extra respawn time for the Regenerator to really do anything, because one bad team fight with the respawn times this long means the game is over. Like, you get a single pick, and at that point, you might as well say goodbye, because it's going to be a minute until you respawn, and the other team could easily rush your Patron by the time you're back. They're just playing safe, wait until mid-boss, and there's no reason to give up picks.
So difficult to deal with. Yeah, never try to give up a pick. And that's going to be tough because, like we said, TF2 kind of indexed into this comp that can grab you from so far away and bully you for getting grabbed. That just between Bebop and Paradox and then krill and Abrams, they're going to just bully you should you be caught out alone. So smartly Pass.
No, Benji's gone.
Going alone.
The Infernus is gone.
And Infernus is down. That's a big member to lose. We talked about how hard they are to kill. Here it comes. Maybe Sapphire not gonna be around too much longer. That Patron weakened already.
Oh,
mid-boss is up, and that's what they're
seconds.
gonna go for. This is smart. They're gonna force the fight at mid-boss.
They can't contest. The mid-boss is gonna be down by the time they get here. It's a 4v5 though. This is gonna be so brutal. The McGinnis as well has the chance to set up those turrets. If you walk into a McGinnis, it's so difficult to actually get anything done. Those turrets will annihilate you, especially this late into the game.
And
Not forced out.
Fight. A big Moan Krill, but they do capture the Rejuvenator and 2 kills to boot. Deathy picks up the Ivy, but it's not probably gonna matter here. This fight so in favor of the pass.
Oh, great stun.
And yeah, they pick up all of them. And look at that, an 87-second kill timer.
That is brutal. This Abrams though is still alive somehow. They finally get him.
And finally goes down, and surely this is the fight that
as well.
calls
Oh, it's just
the
Infernus.
fat lady must be singing. So much damage. Infernus,
I think
at least
this should be
back
game,
up
right?
to
Like
80 or
70 seconds on the
but-
respawn. The ziplines you can get there so fast into the base. The Patron is weakened as well. All Pass needs to do is end it.
Pass going for it. They're in there. The Patron is surely going down here. Bar a miracle play, but I don't think there's anything left for poor TF2 Boomers. What a crazy game 1 we had. I mean, saw how effective Pass was with the Lash in the last game. Numerous massive ults. I mean, that one 5-man ult probably is the play that won them the game, that eventually turned into the snowball that allowed them to win. And to combine that with the pick power of the rest of this comp seems super duper dangerous. I am, however, seeing a great Talon given over on the other side.
Bullet damage upgrades coming in, the lifesteal upgrades coming in. So early on, he's still very, very squishy. He's like a little bit of a lane bully with the burn, but won't be too much of a factor in these early fights.
Yeah, I see the McGinnis paired with the Bebop. That's a lane pairing I really, really like on the other side there. I believe, from Pass, I believe our, production said that.
Yeah, Pass is the one with the Bebop
Yes,
McGinnis.
Pass, okay, I am correct. I'm not nuts. I thought I was going nuts for a second. I had a brain fart, alright? It's been a long day, casted a lot of Deadlock, thought a lot, maybe a little bit too much about lane partners and farm and lane swaps and...
No worries.
Ooh, perhaps an early pick. That being said, these players have been playing all day as well, and they don't seem to have any signs of letting up. They don't have the same brain fog as me, and maybe that's because for them, there's $500 on the line. It's a $500 prize pool.
Absolutely, you gotta keep your focus. The Great Talon, though, is super, super low. If the Lash just had a little bit more souls to get that third ability up, it could have easily transitioned into a kill with the extra mobility granted by the grappling.
We do see Meter able to pick up the first kill of the game with that McGinnis. We talked about how difficult that McGinnis Bebop lane can be to deal with, because you're just going to get hooked into turret, and then you're going to watch your life just slowly drain down. And Wraithist off of the Wraith and onto the Haze. And man, that's gonna be a deadly combo. We saw how much farm they were able to pick up early or late in the last game. We saw how far ahead they were. And I don't know, Haze is such a difficult champion to deal with when they're when they're so far ahead.
Haze is annoying to deal with, like, because you get the knife, and then you're asleep, don't do anything, and then you get ulted with the dance of bullets, and your HP just slowly drains away. But the thing about Haze is, unlike with Wraith, you can't just farm. I'll talk about that later, though, as the fight breaks out.
We have a bit of a fight break out. Bebop at half health, but getting healed up by the McGinnis. One of the big utilities of that McGinnis, able to pick up the kill because they're able to stick around so long. Gets the damage down onto Paradox. This is a bully lane, and they are making use of it. Big advantage here for TF2 Boomers in Broadway, but not going unnoticed as a kill traded back there. I'm sorry, not for TF2 Boomers, for Pass. I'm getting my team mixed up again.
Oh, great timing on the Paradox coming in for
so
Mirror
low,
Man. Saves Infernus. That was great timing for Mirror Man to come in. The Infernus of Denji was so low. If he didn't come in at just the perfect moment, that would have been another kill going over to Pass.
And overall, kind of a fairly difficult back and forth mostly seem to have favored pass early on, but we do see just the slightest lead going here over to TF2 Boomers, who get another pick as they force the 2v1 over there at Park.
Oh, Haze hits asleep.
But is grabbed by Warden's little toy crane there. If you guys have ever played a game like that, you know normally it's not one you're designed to win. But I guess it's a little different when you're picking up a whole person, as that's going to be another kill going over to TF2 Boomers, who have started to, you know, amass a decent amount of souls here just from these picks.
Yeah, man, as we approach 3k souls, Guided Owl. Wow, that was a cross-map one. Bebop is so low now.
And finds another kill. This has been kind of a disparate start. Both teams are kind of all across the map. No real focus into one lane overall. They do get the Park Guardian down early. And that first Guardian can be pretty impactful. But when it's on one of the two outside lanes, I think it's a little less impactful to the map state. I think it's a little more impactful when it's one of the inside lanes, because it allows you access to a lot more of the map.
Absolutely. It just gives you that extra control, that like extra safety as well. Your opponents need to be aware of if they're contesting those neutral objectives. Even so, though, they're just getting the Guardian down. It's souls in the hands of Paz, so they're not going to be too upset about that Ivy coming with the bomb.
Lash pulls the Ivy over, and this might be a pick. Uses the stone form to avoid some damage, but ultimately CC'd and brought down. Engineer going to pick up the kill on that one. But here it comes. The whole team is here. Well, half each team, I guess. Looks like everyone else is all across the map. Lots of ults coming out, but other than that, an insta kill looks like nothing else doing. Finally,
great hook.
able to pick up Wraith, and there we go. Back and forth, back and forth. These teams deliver in a game of just absolute close fights. They're giving us more and more close fights every time.
1 HP on both these guys. Who gets it? Who gets the kill?
Solo.
Still alive somehow. Oh, okay.
Finally, the Lash goes down. So low was the great Talon. And again, another, it's just so back and forth. Tankman picks up another kill onto Meter. These teams are unrelenting this game. Both teams seem a lot more aggressive. Instead of just TF2 having the whole control run of the early game, maybe they said, you know what, every time we get this big early lead, and then we throw it, and then we lose. Instead, we're just going to make it bloody and scrap from the beginning, and maybe then we'll win.
Maybe. I mean, like, kills are being traded back and forth. The game is even at the moment, but, like, if TF2 Boomers, I think, as long as they're able to scale safely into late game, they're more than happy. We saw last game how impactful that Infernus was as soon as those items came in. Like, the great Talon as well, if you get points into that charge shot, will become a menace into the mid game. And, like, the Warden Paradox as well scale incredibly. Pass, I think, is the team that needs to be ahead to do things. Abrams, if you're not able to get a lead, is just so squishy if you jump into the back line. And the Haze as well, but farming on Haze is not very good. You need those arc bullets, and if you can't get that early, you can't really farm. So Haze is very dependent to get kills in order to get souls. And at the moment, Pass hasn't quite been able to feed her as much as they would like.
Yeah, was up pretty early, but now actually lagging behind the rest of their team at just under 5k souls here. But looks like they're going to pick up a Guardian over here in York, going to be able to take out that Yellow Lake Guardian, and that means they've only got one Guardian left standing and a flex slot on the board.
That's going to be real nice to have. Some extra utility is always good. Lash coming in, though. Oh, great Paradox to cancel.
A huge fight as the Lash goes in, and Benji goes down. But, man, even when Benji's taking damage like this, even when we saw Benji get bullied last game, I feel like, a little bit. And it didn't matter, because Benji was so hard to kill in the late game. So I'm not too worried. You would like to maybe not step so far forward like that, but ultimately, it gets traded back out as 2 kills now coming back the other way. But not for free. Mirage gets looked out, but the Mirage Engineer is going to lose life as well. Again, this is a bloody one. My goodness. And yeah, like you said, I do think the kills favor TF2 Boomers.
And this is why I'm getting a little bit worried for Pat. I mean, yes, last time they were able to come back from behind, but like this time, your main carry isn't that Wraith. You can't just sit back and farm. You are on this Haze, and if Haze wants to win the game, she needs to be fed because her farming is just not up to par. You have no AoE until you get those arc bullets, and even then, you'd still much rather get picks with your sleep knife, with your camouflage and everything else. Haze is not good in an upfront 5v5.
Yeah, and the reason, even though the game is so even, I mean, truly dead even, that I say I still think that favors, you know, TF2 Boomers is, like we talked about, that Infernus so difficult to take care of late game. Paradox so impactful with big ults late game. And we just kind of saw that if, like you mentioned, if you can't get ahead, Haze struggles, you know, farming compared to Wraith. And that means a pick comp is going to struggle late game if they don't get the picks to pick comp. And the pick is being done by the other team. It's Salty, no longer on Abrams, now on the Grey Talon, and making it felt. Such an annoying champion, so difficult to deal with. You see why this had been banned all day. This is the first series I got to watch where someone let Grey Talon through, and you're really seeing why it's banned so often.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, the charge shot is so brutal to deal with. Oh, another one connects as well. Huge damage. And now he's being chased down by this Warden. Great at chemical flash to slow as well. Shots going back and forth. Both players getting chipped down, but Ivy comes in for the support.
Here comes the Ivy as well, but Ivy's probably going to go down.
The kid's going down?
Gets a little bit of healing. If Meter had died a little bit faster,
oh, Paradox is in trouble.
Yeah, this fight, another chaotic one. These teams do not want to organize. They do not want to stop and talk about it. They want to scrap! And scrap they will. Salty going down as a Mouse showing why you maybe shouldn't let them have the Lash anymore.
The Lash is like such an annoying champion to deal with. I mean, everyone is annoying if they're fed. I'm just going to put that caveat out there. But the mobility from Lash is brutal to deal with. Because you have to look up, and if you're looking up, you're not looking at the rest of the team. As I say that, though, another fight breaks out. Abrams gets a kill, cleaned up by Tankman on the Ivy. Is anything more that can come out of it? The Mo and Krill here as well.
I was going to talk about how maybe there was a bit of a lead going one way, and it's turned back the other way, and it doesn't matter because the fights never end. Welcome to Mr. Bones' wild ride. The ride never ends. We're fighting forever, boys.
How is he still alive? It just felt
nobody
like
knows.
Never dies.
Tank.
So
I mean, it's in the name, right? That's the Tank Man.
Goodbye.
He is Mr. Tank Man. You're right.
They couldn't have gotten.
And that's just, this fight has been non-stop, and I think that just kind of exemplifies maybe that's what TF2 wants to do, is just kind of permanently scrap. Don't let you regroup. Don't let you think. They seem to be having a good run of it.
No, they just leave.
Yep, everybody's gonna go away. Too scary to get pipped now. Mid boss is up, and that's that can be a little bit spooky. You know, you give up too much, and that's gonna be the end of you. As we can see, a lot of these kills, even for pass, are over on the Abrams. And man, do we talk about Abrams ever just being kind of a permanent fixture in this game? Never ever without the Abrams. It's pretty much picked every time.
I mean, like, it's because Abrams excels in so many things. He's a great beefy body in team fights, right? He's good at picks as well with his CC, and his ultimate lets him reposition very nicely if he wants to go gank someone. And does okay damage as well. I think Abrams is just the ultimate jack of all trades character.
Yeah, slots in so well to so many different team comps. But when we look here, the thing I want to call out is poor Wraith. Only one kill. Not the least fed character in the game. They had a couple people haven't quite broken 5 digits of souls yet. But you just want Haze to be ahead. Haze wants to be playing from a position of comfort, and that's not the case right now.
Haze needs to be ahead of the pack because you want to get picks, and if you can't
Speaking
do the damage, as you see there, gets
for
picked up again.
That's the first pick, and that's going to open up the rest of the team. That's kill on it. Be spooky. And Meter goes down as well, and Mouse finally gets one back. Takes out Mirror Man on the Paradox.
Oh, Abrams is going in.
Might not matter. Abrams takes a lot of damage from the Lash, but Ultimately, it's the Lash that's in trouble.
Wait, he dives into the Warden. This might be a mistake.
I
Warden is
apologize,
still very
not
healthy, does lots of damage as well. Kelvin the Flash slowing him down, and that's the Abrams gone.
I just said Abrams took damage from Lash. I don't even. They're on the same team, man. You guys, I'm going crazy out here. This has been so chaotic. I don't know who's playing for who anymore. We gotta slow down, boys. Give me a second to collect my thoughts.
As we progress later and later, though, Pass is gonna have more and more issues because this Wraith is officially behind the pack. Before she was like maybe even kind of, you could still get something going with it, but she's now officially behind. Look at the souls of the Infernus, look at the souls of the Great Talon, look at the souls of like even the Abrams and the Bebop, and look at Haze. Haze is behind all of these characters, and Haze is a snowball pick. You pick Haze to get ahead early. If you cannot get ahead early, I think Haze is really going to struggle going into the late game.
Yeah, it's a bit of a struggle already. Not doing too well, and again, the mid boss being up means the teams now you'd expect them to be a little bit more careful because get to the timers are getting longer and longer now, and it's gonna be long enough that soon one of these teams is just gonna pull the trigger, get a pick, and go to mid boss. So we see, it looks like Pass is kind of grouping up, but they are getting flanked. Abrams, you're all alone, buddy.
Oh,
you better get back to your team.
Form to stall. Gotta leave.
Not enough. There was 2 more waiting in the wings. They thought they were alone, but never mind. It was
Warden's
you who was
too.
getting trapped. Getting traded back, but Deathy
Are you
is
still alive?
so low. So low.
Nope, no, he's gone officially this time. Oh. Yes, nope, still alive somehow. The life steal is brutal. The jump as well.
Great Talon gets a lot of damage down. Deathy picks up 2 kills there on the Warden. Now it's becoming a bit of an issue because Lash is low as well, and there's those picks we talked about. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a play made for mid boss now.
Oh, wait, Lone Crow gets a great slide to the Bebop. Bomb though. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Still getting picked off though. And the urn is picked up as well from TF2 Boomers on the respawn.
You see TF2 starting to amass a bit of a lead here now. And they're going to go ahead and take the long route with this urn, taking it all the way back to the spot. That does mean
Fight is happening once again though on the opposite side near the mid boss. Looks like TF2 Boomers has the priority to rotate over, so they can get some nice map control over this area. Not starting it just yet though, still waiting for the rest of the members to come in.
Everyone grouping up. They believe they just dropped the urn back in base to make sure that Pass couldn't get it. It's a pretty smart play from a
wait, flank on the Bebop.
Here it comes. Good damage coming down. But ultimately, nothing doing. Just can't get enough damage in fast enough for it to really be impactful.
On the bright side, though, while this was going down, the Haze has managed to pick up the urn and hopefully can even out that soul disparity a little bit.
Yes, because of the soul disparity, the urn far closer to Pass's patron than on the other side. Deathy picking up another pick. It's now everyone's over in Park, and it looks like it's not going to be the end. Yep, there's another one.
Ooh.
Meter going down as well.
Just
and
a little bit of a lull state at the moment. I mean,
good.
Wait, this is a sneaky angle.
This is a devious angle.
Souls?
We know how much a big Lash ult can change a game. We saw it in the last one. Could we see another one from Mouse?
I think he's just guarding the soul drop-off point. Not going to go in just yet. His team is still coming in. Wait, Spooky is down. TF2 Boomers got the first pick instead.
Yeah, they were able to use that damage from Great Talon to get another pick. And that means they're gonna have no issues, I think, defending this point. The only thing is, it is technically, it's getting closer to, yeah, even numbers over here because they do have 2 members off away over in Greenwich. But while both these teams are fighting over the soul collection point, the soul urn's not there. It's just the fight. And here it comes, the Paradox.
Great swap by the Paradox.
Away, and so much CC. This fight has been split everywhere. Both teams are kind of just slugging it out, seeing what they can find. Pass able to find 3 kills throughout the process. and it ends up just being another chaotic, messy one.
Solar picked up as well, being snuck in by the cloak from Bebop. I think Soul Collection point is uncontested at the moment after that huge fight, so Pass will get some souls back into their favor. This should even it out a little bit.
Yeah, I think Pass ultimately with the soul urn being then unprotected because of that fight, I think they're ultimately going to say, you know what, we'll take that because things are a lot more even. Instead of being down 15 to 20k, now they're only down about 9. So, you know what?
Yeah, that's...
We've entered that stage where it's back to farming, everybody. Turn down the chaos. Let's collect ourselves. Let's get some souls.
Yeah, exactly. Most of the members of PASS are more or less even with their opposing numbers, so they are once again able to contest for these neutral objectives. For now, though, they are just farming, maybe getting a little bit of map control over the mid-boss. Bebop from PASS scouting it out. Doesn't see anyone at the moment. They could try for it, but I think in an even 5v5, the numbers in TF Boomer's favor, especially with the Haze that is a little bit behind the curve. Not something you wanted. Oh, great hook on the Infernus.
There. And bam, Infernus is down. I was going to make a comment maybe about how Infernus has so many souls, it's going to be difficult to kill, but never mind. Spit in the face of that notion as there was a good pick, but it's answered in return. I was going to ask, when does the chaos begin again? And it's begun again. Once these teams start fighting, they can't stop.
Haze is once again caught off guard. Lone Krill advancing forward with the help of the McGinnis. The wall not quite enough to section her off, is able to get out of range of that and escapes safely once again into the waiting arms of the base.
Yeah. Mirage is
in
gonna use that tornado just for a little bit of extra movement. Getting chased down by Mo and Krill, but they're gonna have to be careful because that's a lot of damage that just came out. Again, both teams gonna slug it up. Mercedes surely going down here. Nowhere to answer across. Mercedes now down, but Pats has the numbers advantage.
That they do. Great hook on the Bebop. Bomb going in as well. Not quite enough to eliminate Mirage, or Mercedes rather, is now forced to back off.
Spooky goes down. That's another pick, but look at the health bars on the side of TF2 Boomers. They're so low. That's 2 members down, and Paradox is not long for this world either, and it ends up being a fight that favors Pass, but if Lash doesn't get out of there, it might not be a favored fight for too long. And Trooper 1811, thank you, Mr. Minion, for taking that objective down. But can we get a shout out for our minions? You know, I know League of Legends Worlds was today, and I saw a lot of caster minion cosplays, and you know what? I think they're underappreciated.
You know what? Like, they tank turret shots for us. They do turret chip damage for us. They allowed us to push into the enemy's base. I think some appreciation for our boy Trooper 1811 is deserved.
And I love the minions in this game. The little, like, spindly candlestick men. They're very fun looking.
Absolutely. But unfortunately, they are getting eliminated in droves, though. Their families might not be appreciated as much.
You're hurting my friend, the Great Talon. They do
it's okay, the jungle camps are not going to return to their families either.
Everyone is gearing up. This is the next big fight. This is where the chaos is unleashed once more onto New York City is gonna be this urn collection point. Look, everyone is here. Well, everyone except Bebop, who's back at base.
Bebop will be there soon, TM. Just we got a nice regen of the health. Probably pick up some items along the way. This is a sneaky angle from the Mo and Krill.
They're kind of just waiting. Both teams playing the information game, waiting to find someone. And here comes the initial fight. Mao's gonna play it safe, backing out, needs to buy time, doesn't have the ult online at the moment, but only a few seconds, and we know how game-changing that can be. A good wall to separate the fight. Here it comes.
Oh, great hook too.
The first pick is on to Benji again, and they get another CC onto the Mo and Krill, onto Tankman, but Bebop goes
the Warden's
down,
charging in though.
And the health bars are low. McGinnis is low.
That's
McGinnis
2.
goes down. Deathy does so much damage. A big fight pushing up here. The Warden doing damage, but goes down himself. Ooh. A huge play for Haze, finally getting some momentum going in this game, but is immediately traded back. And the fight ends up being chaotic as predicted.
Once again, though, it's that Lash, the very critical Lash ult, gets a 2-man stun, which finally allows the Wraith on the Haze to get a great bullet dance, taking down 2 members. Even from behind, if the enemies can't fight back, Haze can still stack up a lot with that third ability.
But ultimately, I don't think that Pass is very happy about this play. They lose a lot, they lose too many members, and TF2 Boomers are securing that burn, which is, you know, just unfortunate for them.
Yeah, I mean, TF2 Boomers, though, fortunately cannot go for the mid-boss. They don't have enough members alive for that. The Great Talon and the Infernus were both eliminated in that fight, which is the main bulk of their damage, but they're still happy with just extending that soul lead ever more.
Yeah, just slowly extending the soul lead. Like I said, a very different fighting style from this game as opposed to the last one. I'm gonna assume the play here from TF2 Boomers is going to be to group up and use their big lead to try and force a pick and then try and either bait or force a mid-boss. And because Spooky is kind of alone, gotta be careful. He's gonna try and... Never mind, I was gonna say group up with Engineer, but Engineer's dead! So fast!
Never even had a chance, and now he has to get out. There's just too many members here. Can't really fight this.
Does have some reinforcements coming in, but that means that Haze is all alone over there in Park. And look at the Ivy, look at the Paradox. They're coming for that flank.
3 members grouped up here. Like, even if they do have a lot of members over, lots of CC, it's still not going to be easy to pick off a member of Pass now that they're all nice and together. But the Urn, at least the initial pickup, should go over to TF Boomers. Looks like they have a lot of control over it, although Pass is slowly regaining map control.
Yeah, Pass all grouped up, but so is TF2 Boomers. And here comes
the
fight.
Krill.
Mo and Krill getting a good stun. Lots of damage coming out early. Deathy already picked off Mercedes, and that means no Abrams in this fight. We know how impactful that hero can be. Good damage coming out in return, but Mo and Krill is so tanky.
Oh, Mass is dead. There's no Lash anymore. Maxer is down. All the damage is done. It's just the Bebop left, as well as this Mirage. No.
And Spooky is down, and that is a 4-for-0 trade. TF2 Boomers take it, and they're going to go straight to mid-boss. They know where their bread is buttered.
And absolutely. A catastrophic team fight. TF2 Boomers was able to get an initial pick onto the Mirage of Pass, and they were slowly able to transition that into pick after pick after pick. Pass were just playing too separated. Their members all going for their own separate flank angles. And, I mean, Mirage coming in here to try to get a steal. Doesn't happen, though. There's just too many members of TF2 Boomers to deal with.
Not able to find anything. I understand the play for the steal, but ultimately all you've done is give over another kill, and now they have Rejuvenator and all their members up. Surely they're going to look to take out these remaining walkers here and get themselves some nice flex slots to open up their builds a little bit more.
The Ivy as well, bring the Urn over to the collection point as well. That soul lead is going to be extended to almost 20k now. That's going to be so hard to deal with. I mean, we've seen the Pass do a similar comeback last game, but you can't imagine it being easy.
Yeah, it's gonna be very difficult as another soul urn secured.
Great stun.
And here comes the initial fight. Spooky's dead in an instant. Not even close. Blinking, you'd miss it. The base boss is there, destroyed. They're going straight for the shrine. And it's just a difficult fight all around here as they just cannot group up on the side of Pass. They're getting picked apart one by one. The lead is so large now. There's just no reason for TF2 not to go in. They're continuously pushing their advantage, have both shrines particularly low now, and Pass just has to concede the ground or keep losing members.
Yeah, they can't do anything. I think that should be the first form of the Patron going down now. It should be weakened shortly. I don't know if Pass can stay, though. I mean, they're also very healthy now. Of course they can stay. What am I saying?
I imagine TF2 Boomers want to stay because they have Rejuvenator on all 6 members, and they're just ahead by nearly 40,000 souls at this point.
Oh, that's...
The snowball has been insane.
Oh, kinetic capture?
That's a big Lash ult. Didn't ultimately get the stun or the crash down damage. That means there's gonna be a lot of time for... There we go, TF2 get in there, lay down the damage, and it's all on the Patron. The Nexus is falling. It's over for you. We're going to game 3.
a very different look. And they have the Grey Talon. Oh, that's going to be the Grey Talon for the early game, the 7 as that late game insurance. Ooh.
I'm looking here. I'm wondering who the second 7 is, because obviously, they only drafted one.
Can't have two.
That'd be crazy. Double 7 would be a crazy strat. Let's see if they can pull it off. But good pick. We saw how well they did with the Wraith, which is a power farm and carry late. You know who else can power farm and carry late?
Infernus.
Yes, sir!
I think
now we're gonna see. I wonder how I just kind of wonder if the early game is going to be the same. Are both these teams going to look to just scrap over and over again? Because if your pass didn't work out too well for you last game, maybe you play a little bit safer.
I think TF2 Boomers wants to avoid early scraps, because the 7 is quite weak early on, and the Viscous you want to wait until about 3k souls where you have your ultimate ability. As I say, the lone krill is being chased down early by this Abrams. Early scrap indeed.
I do think the early scraps is gonna favor the team with the Abrams and the Bebop generally, but again, both these teams kind of have a scaler. They both
Wait,
have someone
he's stuck. He's stuck in a corner. There's no support.
No, he's all alone down there. Only 60 health. Can he get out? I don't think it's gonna be. It looks like we're gonna get first blood here. Here comes the Moe Krill, and Tankman picks up Mercedes for the first blood.
Tankman doesn't just tank, as the name implies. He can also deal a quite healthy amount of damage as well if you do give him the opportunity. An overextension from the Abrams of pass, giving a free early pick off to TF2 Boomers.
Yeah, and we're seeing, I'm interested, the Grey Talon McGinnis lane, it seems like a pretty strong one. But into the Bebop, and the thing is, Grey Talon has a bit of mobility with the flight, but it also means you're very, very exposed when you use it. McGinnis, next to nothing to get you out of trouble. If there's a crazy hook landed by the Paradox Bebop combo, which, man, once ults are online, that is going to be a not fun lane.
No, absolutely not. And you bring in the Lash into the mix as well. A Lash to get set up a nice CC for an early Bebop hook into a Paradox swap. You're going to transition so far into the enemy's backline, you might as well not exist.
On the other side, you talk about Viscous and 7 both kind of needing some time to get into the game, but they end up working out well for one another. Because once 7 has those arcing shots, once he's got the activated passive, they farm pretty well. And Viscous generally pretty good at keeping teammates safe. So, ultimately, it's a nice little symbiosis they have over there.
Here's a question for you, Brent. How much do you think this Viscous... Oh, talk about that later. It's a hook comes in.
Hold your questions! Boink is gone! You talked about the Lash setup for the Paradox Bebop. There it is, Lash CC into Bebop hook and gone. Let's see, what was the question you were gonna ask?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say earlier, how much do you think this Viscous is a response to the Lash from past? Because we've seen it get so much value, but the cube from Viscous able to deny CC and damage as another brawl breaks out. How much do you think that's a response to how great the Lash play has been from past?
I think it's definitely a response from TF2 Boomers into pass, knowing that they won that last game in a bit of a late game snowball, knowing that there was a lot of scrapping early. I think they recognized that game could have easily gone the other direction, and they start to be on the losing end of the snowball after the scraps. And so they pick someone that's going to offer a lot of stability in these fights, being able to deny CC, deny damage. And because of that, I think it's the better support option. I think it works out very well, especially when you consider that, look at their playstyle. They don't have someone that's, going in, forcing picks. They're playing a very, front-to-back comp. And when you have a very front-to-back comp, I think someone that can play as, a bit of that safety and protection is pretty important.
Yeah, I agree. Just someone to, act as that front line. Because you don't need to go on these crazy flanks. You have a 7. He will do all of the damage you need. And the Grey Talon with the flank can find the off angle as well. So, no flank necessary. Just play for that consistency of the Viscous.
Let's see there. that Abrams generally being a bit of a nuisance to poor Tankman, and Mercedes gets his revenge over in Park, able to pick up a kill right underneath the Guardian. No problem for the Abramses. Again, I think Abrams has been played in every single game I've spectated today. And that is,
yeah, I mean,
kind of nuts.
I don't see why not. Backline pressure thanks to his shotgun. Great frontlining thanks to his life drain and third ability as well. Great engage and CC thanks to the ult and his shoulder charges. He fits into so many different comps, just so consistent in everything he does.
And we're seeing a lot of the spirit items starting to come out for 7. This is where they start, you know, even though 7, everyone thinks about getting shot, but it is a spirit build because you're playing around the arcing electricity. That is where the damage is. So
yeah, and 7 at that 3k soul mark as well. The ultimate coming in. It's so brutal to deal with. If there's a team fight happening anytime soon, you want that man to be there if you are TF2 Boomers.
Yeah, and I think also it makes a little sense they put Benji on it. And Benji was previously playing on the Infernus. And Infernus was working well in the first game, and funnily enough, even though they won the second game, I don't think Infernus had as much impact in that second one. But they brought him onto the 7, and I think that's because they know Guy's gonna hit his shots.
Yeah, this guy's got aim as well, and the damage to back it up on top of that. I think what makes a great hyper carry player there isn't necessarily just the aim or the farming, it's the positioning as well. As I say that, though, we have the Wraith is getting caught out.
Wraith is caught out, and we've noticed that kind of being a bit of an early trend in these past 2 games. Gonna make it very difficult for Pass because, again, Infernus wants to farm up, and so you know what? It's okay. And
Daddy's in trouble. Daddy's in trouble. Oh, he gets caught by the Lash.
It's over. It's over. And Mouse picks up a kill onto Deathy. I think it's okay. I think Infernus going down early a couple times is fine. Because unlike the Haze that they brought to the last matchup, Infernus can just wait for you guys to go team fight and then go play their own game and farm up a bunch.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw this happen. We saw this happen to Denji in Game 1, where he got really behind on the Infernus and was still able to have massive impact late game.
Another kill coming out. There we are, but it's
even
not
more kills coming out.
Back and forth. Just, again, what did I talk about? These 2 teams love chaos. They absolutely just love it. It's their favorite thing.
Abrams or Mercedes getting dishonored.
I don't know if Mercedes meant to grab the orb there, or if they're just meaning to run it away and buy some time. They're getting chased down by Tankman's Mo and Krill, though, and I imagine they're not going to be around too much longer. Except, yeah, there it is. Tankman picks up the kill on Mercedes across the map. And these Guardians are
Mirrorman, though, found a great timing match to take out a Guardian.
Yeah. That's what I was about to touch on, is these Guardians are going down, which means we're soon to get flex slots once a team picks up 3 of them. I think, looks like TF2 Boomers might actually have their flex slot. I believe they have.
Oh, wait, that's a hook?
I believe they have. Great hook.
That's a hook.
Great Talon. Only loses the shields, though.
Wait, but a great McGinnis will sections him off from his team. He can't retreat. The Lash coming in on top of that as well?
This is a huge
slams McGinnis straight the rest of the team.
Picks there for Pass. Great team fighting there from those guys. They picked up another just crazy trade.
Oh, he might be in trouble. He's so low HP. Abrams chasing him as well. The Burrow's about to run out.
Abrams chasing, but gets caught out. Has the teammate, but Mercedes might still go down. So much health on Tankman, pummeling Mercedes. He's able to pick up the kill, and now the team is here. Boink goes down. Or, sorry, Boink's not going down. Tankman goes down, but it doesn't mean Benji's going to be able to pick up a Guardian on the other side.
Oh, wait, but Mouse wants more.
Stealth pick from Lash. Mouse just holding around that corner, knowing that no one knows they're there, and then picks up the kill as soon
Wait,
as
that's another hook.
And Salty comes into the death corridor. You don't want to be here, my friend. Uh-oh.
Man,
things are
Pass
starting to
has
look
been
good
playing
for
this
Pass.
composition to absolute perfection, finding hook after hook after hook from this Bebop and the Lash. As I say, though, another fight breaks out in this corridor of death.
These teams can't. It's like a drug. They can't stop fighting. Always fighting. Always fighting.
Oh. Like, as I was saying earlier, though, Pass has been playing this pick hump to absolute perfection. The hooks from the Bebop and Mouse on this Lash has been such a standout player, always finding the angles, always finding the stuns, always finding the ults. He's just always there whenever a fight breaks out, and he always impacts it in some way.
TF2 Boomers do have a slight lead at the moment, but again, that lead is just next to nothing. A couple hundred souls at this stage of the game just doesn't really mean anything. As we're starting to see,
Which is kind of
the full item
incredible,
slots go
considering
out. These flex slots are going to be so important here. I would like you to continue. I apologize.
Yes, no, so I think it's incredible how close TF2 Boomers has been actually able to keep it, because Path just got 5-6 kills into that corridor there, and somehow they're not even ahead. Infernus ult. Great Stoneform for the stun.
Warden. Lots of damage coming out. The 7
Airdrop?
might be in trouble here. There he goes. Benji is down. This is what Pass needs. And meanwhile, I think the big thing, while all this is going on, while everyone's fighting, look who's off over in York.
It's a tower dive.
Farming on their own.
You thought you were gonna keep me down.
Boink is gone. That's a 2-man tower dive. And oh, wait, here comes the Viscous of Mirror Man. What can he do about it? Great Talon is here as well, but he's just
Salty
getting
trying
CC'd
to
into
get
the
some
wall.
damage down. Does ultimately pick up Mercedes. That was close. That Abrams was out for blood. Even though there's all these trades going on, I think the important thing is, for Pass, while they've been doing all this, Wraith has just been farming solo over in York. Like, over in Yellow Lane, just doing whatever they want. Kind of just enjoying life.
It's great if they win early, because they do have the tools to get that. But all they really care about, like their insurance policy of the Wraith is just he gets farm. Wait, that's a stun. Tankman is attacking the Bebop of Pass through the teleporter. And he just beats into the Guardian.
What?
You don't see that every day.
Yeah, that was... You know, we're hitting ridiculous levels of chaos. We gotta tone it down, guys. These teams... Oh, a great wall to buy time. That means Mercedes going down,
He's
but
still
not
alive. He gets a
before
kill. He
they're
gets
able
bombed.
to take out Boink. Unfortunately, outnumbered and outgunned, but buys enough time with that Abrams to make it not all for naught. They're able to get a kill on there, and that's... You know what? That's not nothing.
Yeah, you can take that, I think. You trade 1 for 1, you get some souls in your pocket, some goes to your opponent, that's fine. I think as a Pass is winning, because they do have that Infernus in the back pocket of the Wraith. Hasn't really been impacting these fights, which I think is fine, because the important part is that he gets souls in his pocket, and he gets to continuously farm.
Yeah, once the Infernus kind of ramps, right? Similarly, actually, to the 7, but the Infernus does it through items. Once they get something like Ricochet or Leech, able to just stay so healthy, off in a side lane, doing whatever they want in terms of farm, and ideally we're gonna see 7 doing something similar and picking up farm. Neither of these players, you know, pushing the envelope in terms of kills for their team, however.
Yeah, souls are still neck and neck here. The mid-boss has finally spawned, and so has the soul urn. Hasn't been picked up by anyone just yet. As we kind of go into a lull state, both teams content with just farming at the moment.
Yeah, they gotta be careful because, like you mentioned, mid-boss is up, and that means big mistakes get punished, even if neither team has like quite the capacity to capitalize on it. I want to talk about, man, Mouse not died yet. That is nuts. Playing on that Lash, 5 kills, no deaths. And now, maybe finally we're going to see something happen over here. And Tankman goes down.
I think he thought he had a pick onto Spooky, but Spooky just had that teammate in reserve, had the extra backup here. 2v2 in the mid lane, though. Engineer and Mouse battling it out. And Deathy is the one that gets the kill at the end of the day.
Yeah, Engineer goes down. Deathy does pick up an assist. Might even be their first of the game over here off in the side lane on their own. Oh, look at this teleport. Deathy's flanking through the teleport, and they have their Mo and Krill coming in. This could be a
he pops the veil.
dangerous trap over here in Park. Here we go!
He finds
Great
Spooky on the
damage onto
Paradox.
the Paradox. Has to prop the Divine Barrier.
Oh, the Mo and Krill stuns
Tankman's
him out.
finally here, though. The slowing hex doing quite a lot of work, and Tankman's about to go down. Can the Warden get the root? Just barely gets the hook on to Mercedes. The wall coming out. That does mean there is one pick. It looks like Spooky went down over there. But Deathy's not out of the woods yet. Trying to take down this Abrams, but Abrams is just so healthy. Will not die.
And Medser as well gets another pick on the other side with the Bebop. Mirror Man picks off the Wraith. No more farm for him. And Salty is in trouble as well now.
Man, it looked really good initially with that flank through the TP, but just a great response from Pass. Able to ultimately make more out of it than they perhaps should have. A little over-indexed, I think, for the TF2 Boomers. All in on one play.
Yeah, now they pick up the Soul Urn, so that's going to be some more souls in their pocket. TF2 Boomers now a little bit behind on souls. Pass just only 1k head, but I mean 1k soul is very little, especially because
it's such a nothing at this moment. I do want to talk about the AP as well. Not only are the souls even, the AP is genuinely dead even. I think there's one more point to the side of Pass. Just this game is so incredibly even, and that is what we saw out of the last game from TF2 Boomers. Like we said, I do think the Viscous is an extra layer for them to keep up later in the game. So I'm just, these late game team fights, there's gotta be some structure to them eventually. This chaotic back and forth, like just meatball everyone into the grinder and see what happens type of fight. If you want to keep going in the tourney, listen, the individual skill is clearly here. I want to see a little bit more organization from these teams, because I know that the team that's #1 seed right now, they fight a team.
Yeah, I think both of these guys definitely have the individual skill. Like, just Mouse by himself has been such a standout player. But both these guys right now are just seeing opportunity to get a pick. I go in for it without thinking. And I think as you get later in the tournament, you're going to get punished for that. You can't do these individual plays as you move farther and forward. Especially considering that teams are going to play coordinated as you go farther and farther into the tournament. They're going to punish you if you over-aggress. And right now, both of these teams, they're still even. But just if they keep pushing these boundaries, they keep limit testing, they are going to get punished eventually.
Cat doing a good job of, baiting in the aggression at the moment. Able to get a lot of damage as it looks like Mo and Krill are going to die to the bird. Just barely survive, but Mouse picks up another kill. And that's the one area where these teams are not even, is kills.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was talking about earlier, right? Both of these teams, every time they see just a slimmer of an opportunity, they go for it. And things like this happen. When you try to go for every single play you see, some of them are going to be rotten, and you don't want to go for them. And just, just like TF2 Boomers, 2 players go in, the McGinnis and the Mo and Krill, and they just instantly get punished for it, for over-aggressing.
Yeah, and speaking of punished, they're going to have Mo and Krill up, going to maybe be able to make their way over there, but McGinnis certainly not, and mid-boss is going down quickly.
Oh, last stand is popped. He's going in. Deathy's going in.
Got the Divine Barrier up. Deathy taking no damage. So much damage dished out the other direction. Finally goes down, but lots of low health bars on the side of Pass. Very precarious situation here. They might be able to clean it up. TF2 Boomers looking for a good one. Not able to stop.
Tankman gets another as well. Spooky's down. It's just Wraith and Mouse on the Infernus and Lash respectively out here. The kills do go in favor of TF2 Boomers, but the objective goes in favor of Pass. And once again, souls are neck and neck.
Yeah, I mean, great kills, but you've given up the Rejuvenator, and at first I was like, wow, that's great. But then they lost most of their rejuves. So ultimately, yeah, I think if you're TF2 Boomers, knowing they had started that mid-boss when you were, like, woefully out of position from those 2 picks over in Park, now that you see you've taken away most of those Rejuvenators, you can be pretty happy about the way that fight turned out as TF2 Boomers. You took away most of the advantage that mid-boss just gave.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Pass overstayed there. As you say that, a hook comes out onto the 7 of TF2 Boomers, and his health bar is getting chunked down over and over and over again. He ults, but the bomb from Meter is more than enough to finish him off.
Dude, like Meter on the Bebop. We saw Meter play a lot of the McGinnis earlier. B Spooky has kind of been the designated Bebop, but I do like the way Meter is playing. Very, very supportive, and a great hook comes out there, and that does mean a pick onto the enemy 7. Man, that talent charge shot is just
It's so annoying.
Just
as we reflect, as we reflect over that Rejuvenator fight once again, though, Pass finds a great timing. They get 2 picks and catch TF2 Boomers on a great timing. They manage to pick up their Rejuvenator, but they overstay on the fight. They didn't need to do that. And they get most of their advantage taken care of, as you said. They are still able to even out, though, still able to push into the base of TF2 Boomers. This could be the turning point once again if they pick a bad fight.
I believe the Infernus ran in with the ultimate. Don't know how many they caught, and ultimately that's going to be the back-breaking play as TF2 picks up 3 kills there, 4 kills.
Make that 4. 5?
Could they get
the
ace? Everyone is dead on Pass. A great 6 for 0. TF2 Boomers making a great stand there outside the base. Lost a lot of their base, though. 1 of the pairs of base guardians, 3 of their walkers are down, and they still have a guardian standing on the other side. Pass is yet to deal with one of the guardians.
I think once again, though, that's a bit of an overstay for Pass. They got the walker, they got 2 of the base guardians. They could have just backed out at that point. They had a very healthy soul lead, but they choose to overstay and they get punished. Same thing happens here. Pass is able to get a nice guardian takedown, but then overstay a little bit. Team members were rotating out, and then the McGinnis of TF2 Boomers just stays in lane a bit too long, and in comes the Abrams, all of his CC, and eliminates her right off the bat.
Yeah, it does seem to be, you've hit the nail right on the head. The kind of issue is both these teams have gotten their advantage, they play for their advantage, they walk forward at the enemy base, they stay at the enemy base too long, and then they die.
Yeah, I think they got the advantage, and then they don't know when to just take the advantage and leave. They always try to push for more, and I think the attitude of just trying to push your lead is fine, but you need to know when to back off. You need to know when you can be satisfied with what you have.
Great kill. Deathy just 1v1's Meter so far ahead. I mean, Meter unfortunately kind of stuck in this support role with the Bebop. He had no chance against the Warden there.
Hooks have been great for Meter, but unfortunately with just the way he's building, he can't take 1v1s.
Yeah, and that's what happened there.
Oh,
heavy melee.
wait, Deathy and Mercedes taking a 1v1. Backs off, though.
Everybody kind of grouped up around that urn. Nothing doing, ultimately.
Yeah, it's just going to be another lull state at the moment. Both teams are just content with farming. No objectives currently on the map. No urn, no mid-boss. So it's just
We're
farming
actually going to see a
these
fight
minions,
here. Look at
getting
the map.
extra gold.
The Ivy overextended looking for the shrine, and it looks like the team is actually... They're coming, rescuer. No one's able to get a pick. What are you guys doing? I thought we were going to fight. I thought you liked chaos.
Shots going wide, but I think they need to pick up these waves. They need to get the junk camps, get the extra souls. Yeah, I've managed to get away.
I'm so surprised because they were destroying one of the shrines when the Grey Talon came over to respond, when Salty came over, and I thought for sure they were about to get, pinched and cut off and their team was going to have to rescue them, but no, ultimately both teams just kind of handshake and said, no harm, no foul, you go ahead and scamper on home, bud.
I mean, Ivy is actually surprisingly mobile. The airdrop, letting you fly into the air like that, is a great escape mechanism. And not a lot of CC is able to land, once you are off the ground. Because, if you think about it, you have to, the Viscous has to, hit you with the goop punch, but you need to be grounded for that. 7 has no CC, neither does the Warden. I mean, there's slows and everything, but there's no hard CC to stun you out of that flight.
Yeah, once you're mobile, the 7 does have the stun. It takes forever to proc, and you have to get pretty close to proc it. You have to get up on them to shoot it at them.
Oh,
and so once they got
from
away,
Lash.
it was
look at this angle.
Really high up. They do have the ultimate available. They're kind of waiting. And we've talked about Mouse all series. Very impactful player. Knows what they're doing with this ultimate. It might be time to unleash it. Here we go. Deathy doing so much damage. Paradox unable to get away. And 8 Spooky is down.
They
Here
want
comes the
more
fight.
though. The Viscous going in, catches off the Abrams and Mercedes.
Down. Benji picks up that kill, starting to come into the game a little bit. You see, 25k souls on that 7. Gonna be a bit of an issue moving forward.
On the other hand, though, the Infernus, 30k souls, he is scaling into a big threat. It is taken down by Deathy, though, unfortunately, on the extended chase. And it looks like this is TF2 Boomers' chance to break into the base of Pass. Viscous popping in that little goo ball, doing a lot of CC, just disrupting the backline, taking up extra damage here. Haven't been able to break past these base guardians just yet, though.
Yeah, ultimately they lost their 7 as well as a big damage loss, and so they're going to cut their losses and get away. One of those base guardians, I believe, is still standing. One of the 2.
And I like this change of pace from TF2 Boomer. This 10 minutes
it's like
ago,
they're listening.
they would have tried to trade. They would have tried to greed. They would have tried to trade 1 for 1, maybe take an extra base guardian. But now, like, they realize that, hey, we can't fight this. They cut their losses and try to, instead of trying to be greedy, get the extra influx of souls.
And like we said, that is going to be important moving forward, knowing when to call it quits. But calling it quits, there's a bait here. We're going to see, do they cut their ties? Everyone is already on mid-boss.
Wait, they're at the mid-boss.
Is going down.
TF2 Boomers
Are
has
they
no
going to be able to
clue.
secure the Rejuvenator? Is it a bait? Both these teams are grouped up. Here's going to be a chaotic fight in the middle.
Oh, great McGinnis wall, but it's
Here we
dodged
go.
by Mercedes. It is
Mouse
captured
captures the
inside the pass.
Rejuvenator.
Oh, but the
Here we
fight
go.
might go into the favor of TF2 Boomers. The team of Pass is a little bit split. They
Almost
do get a pick on
certainly,
the mirror man,
McGinnis is
though.
low. Three full health bars for TF2 Boomers, but all in the base. Weren't able to suss out that mid-boss play fast enough, and so by the time they got there, it was already dead.
Yeah, and I think this is great forward side of Pass. Last time they got the Rejuvenator and then played split. Some of their members went to go farm side lanes, and some stayed to try to go for the extended fight. This time they all play together, they all play coordinated, and they get the Rejuvenator, they get 3 kills, and now they're pushing into the base of Pass. The Patron is going to be weakened very shortly, and this could just be a very quick 25-minute win.
Look at
I
that
think they are backing
damage
off, the
from the
respawns are coming
Infernus.
in.
Finally farmed all the way up and just eviscerates anything they point at.
Just anything in the general direction of those finger guns is going to absolutely melt. The respawns are coming in for TF2 Boomers, though. I think Pass should back off here. They already weakened the Patron. Respawns are coming in. The enemy just bought all their items. You haven't had a chance to spend your souls yet. I want them to get out if they can. It looks like they're staying, though. Patron
I
is
think
getting
it's
chunked
not a
down
terrible
pretty
play to stay.
nice,
They
though.
have the Rejuvenators. They're able to get onto the Patron. Even if they die here, the respawn timers are not long. And they get some good damage in. Looks like they might be able to get 1 back on a TF2 Boomers, but they're losing 4 members. Not the worst play in the world, considering you have the rejuves, but that's a lot of souls going back over the way of TF2 Boomers, able to launch a stalwart base defense.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, the souls are back into the favor of TF2 Boomers. This is why I want them to back off. Because, yes, you are ahead in souls. Yes, you do have a lot of ults to use. But the thing is, you haven't spent your souls. Souls just sitting in your inventory mean nothing until you turn those souls into items, like into abilities and so on and so forth. The enemy had just died, yes, and like you got an excellent chunk on their Patron, but as they respawn, they now have bought their items. They're stronger than you, and they also have the added Patron to help DPS you down on top of that. You should have just taken your winnings and left. There was no reason to extend your lead there.
But now we see we're gonna have a scrap. Look at the defense here for the urn.
Oh,
Paradox
Oh, no.
grabs, runs away, has to pop the Divine Barrier. Deathy in a dangerous
Deathy's in
position
trouble.
here, getting good damage in. Able to lock
Is he able to get
down the
one?
Paradox. Paradox on the run. Can Deathy get this kill? The barrier blocks the grenade, and
Deathy's
Deathy's gonna
so
go
low.
down.
On the other side, Mercedes on the Abrams in the backline with the help of Mouse on the Lash is able to do an absolute chunk into the backline of TF2 Boomers. Only the 7 left in this fight. The Soul Urn being secured by Pass as well, and now Bonk on McGinnis is in trouble. 4 members piling up on top of him, disarmed and now completely taken out of the fight. It's just the 7 left alive for TF2 Boomers. Oh, not
Ace
even. He's gone.
6 for 0. Another one for pass. And you know what? This is why
That should be the game.
This is why I said, even though it feels like a bad play, yes, you gave over a lot of souls, you have the Rejuvenator. So even if you die, you're not giving up too much on the map other than just the souls. And they're able to get back on the map and make the play now that they have bought their items, now that they are a lot stronger. And that ends up being what wins them the game. A back and forth game again, almost 30 minutes this time.